This is our duty weapon. It's a Glock model 23, chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. It's got a polymer frame, stainless slide. Very durable, very reliable weapon.
1, 4, 2. 5, 3, 4. Hey! 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 You're at the 12-yard line. Stay still. Finish your reload, then we'll start moving forward. Move. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Another thing too we want to emphasize also is that you only want to shoot move as fast as you can shoot. It does you no good to be running in there wildly and not getting your hits on target. You know, move in there smooth, identify your threat, and engage it. Move! Move! Move!
This is our Remington 870 Police Magnum shotgun. Empty right now. We configure our slides with a tack light that we take out for training purposes. This is a stubby model. Usually these go right in the overhead in the police cruisers. All the cruisers are marked with one. Usually have a sling on these. Again, we took these out for the training purposes. Slowly but surely we're probably going to phase these out, and all cruisers will go to an M16. It's a long-term project, and I got a lot of people working towards that, but as of right now, the old Remington Police Magnum 870 shotgun, mainstay of our arsenal.
Utilizing the sling if you don't have one or if you're not using it. It's going to be one-handed shooting. You come up, you engage your first target, 2 rounds. You have a malfunction or it runs dry, trap it down by your side. One-handed shooting, engage your second target with 2 rounds. Hey!
This is an AR-15 or an M4. I configured mine with a Picatinny forend and a Surefire spotlight. Most of our weapons always have an entry light of some sort, ideal for close quarters combat and dimly lit spaces. Mine has a collapsible stock. That's the actual projectile that comes towards you. Very debilitating round. Pretty good for entry teams, and it's what we're issued for the SOU.
I went to school at Westfield State College and got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice at Westfield. During that time I did some police work in Maine as a summer officer, but my full-time police career began right here in Londonderry in May of 1978 under then Chief Fred Ball. I started out as a patrolman. After having gone through the academy, I worked the streets. Back when the population was about 9,000 people, and with a number of officers, one of which is still here. Captain Tatham was here as a patrolman at that time as well. After the first 2 years of serving the town as a patrolman, I was promoted to juvenile officer and spent approximately 8 years as the juvenile officer for the town, did some prosecution, was promoted to lieutenant in 1987. From there to captain in 1989, and fortunately in 1996 was promoted to the position of chief for the department. Our desire and goal is to have an officer in charge of the ranking of lieutenant who would oversee the overall operations of the department during his particular shift. This allows the sergeant, the road sergeant, to supervise the ongoings out on the road. We do a number of specialty positions. Our school resource officers, we have 3 school resource officers in that mix.
Boys varsity basketball practice has been changed to 4:30 at South School.
This is like the only walking beat in Londonderry. It's all patrolled by foot, and whether I go to the gym or just stay here in the main building, I'm always in radio contact. No matter where I am in the school, I have a school radio, so if they need me, they call me on the school radio. I walk this building probably 6 or 8 times a day. We started with just 1 officer here in the high school. It's expanded now to 3 resource officers and a DARE officer. 1 officer here in the high school all the time, that's myself. There's a full-time officer in the middle school, that's Officer Macaron, and Officer Matarese covers the elementary schools in Moose Hill. There's also a 2nd officer in the middle school, that's the DARE officer, Officer Bouchard, who's been doing DARE for years. My primary duty, my only duty really, unless there's an emergency out on the street and they pull me out of here, is I go over to the station and check in like I normally would. I grab a cruiser, I report here to the school, and typically what I do is I just lock all the exterior doors except for the front foyer and the back entrance, which leads to the gym. I check in with the vice principals or go to the main office. If need be, I write tickets for tobacco, possession of tobacco by a minor. Unfortunately, I do make some arrests out of here as well, primarily for fights. I would bet that a majority of these kids would say that they're comfortable with having an officer in the school, that they like having an officer in the school. Most of the faculty and staff is comfortable having a cop here. Prior to having a cop in the school, I don't think the kids were comfortable, and I don't think that we were getting reports made because it's not a comfortable thing to go over to the police station and report a sexual assault or an assault itself or something like that. So several times during the year, I get kids that come in and voluntarily want to talk, or they have a personal problem, and I don't have a problem doing that. I think overall the atmosphere is very positive about having a policeman here in the school, as opposed to 5 or 6 years ago when the program first started. During the day, we stay, at least I know that I do, I stay pretty busy. There's quite a few calls for service here at the school, and the other officers stay pretty busy themselves.
No one leaves Londonderry on their own, because this is a great place to work. It's big enough to grow. There are a lot of opportunities to move up to different positions. And the people that we work for, you don't get any better than that.